All right, let's dive deep into the tactical system of the KW squad. You ever watch a game and wonder what's really going on? What makes a team's formation actually work? Because, it's so much more than just the numbers you see on the screen before kickoff. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the hidden rules, the principles that dictate how this team attacks, defends, and really controls a match. Let's get into it. You see it all the time, right? 4-4-2, 4-3-3. At the end of the day, they're just numbers on a graphic. A shape is just a starting point. So the real question is, what makes this system different? What makes it tick? The secret, and you're going to see this, isn't in the numbers themselves. It's in the core ideas that turn those numbers into a single cohesive unit. Okay, so our blueprint, our starting point, is a 4-2-3-1. Now, this is probably one of the most common formations you'll see in the game today, but that's kind of like a double-edged sword. Its flexibility is a massive advantage, for sure. But it also means that if the players don't get the rules, if they don't understand the system, the whole thing can fall apart in a second. So what are those rules then? Well, it all boils down to two things that are totally non-negotiable. First, positional discipline. Simple, right? Every single player has a job to do, and they have to do it. And second, maintaining connections. The team can never, ever just be 11 individuals doing their own thing. If these two things happen, the system works. If they break down, well, so do we. Maintaining connections is easy to say, but how do you actually do that on a huge pitch? How do you stop players from becoming isolated islands, totally cut off from each other? Well, it turns out there's a really simple geometric shape that is the absolute secret to our entire system. The answer is triangles. And this isn't just some fancy coaching term or a neat little tactic. No, this is the fundamental building block of literally everything we do. By constantly, relentlessly forming triangles all over the pitch, we guarantee there are always passing options, we keep our team's structure solid, and ultimately, we control the game. So what even is a tactical triangle? It's really simple. It's just three players forming a shape that always gives the person on the ball at least two safe places to pass it. Just look across the pitch here. You see them everywhere. The right back, a defensive mid, and the winger. Boom, there's one. A DM, the number 10, and another winger, there's another. It means that no matter where the ball is, the player who has it is never, ever alone. Okay, so we've got our core idea, triangles. Now let's see how it actually works in practice. Starting from the very beginning of an attack. This system is not about just hoofing it up the field and hoping for the best. No way. It's about methodically playing through the other team. And that whole process starts with our defenders. The absolute key to building from the back are our two defensive midfielders, the sixes. They are the engine room. By staying central and disciplined, they are this constant, safe option for the center backs to pass to. And at the same time, our number 10, the attacking midfielder, isn't just standing around upfield. No, they're actively dropping back into those little pockets of space between the other team's midfield and defense, acting as that critical link to really get our attack going. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Once we have the ball and we've successfully played it out from the back, our 4-2-3-1 doesn't just stay a 4-2-3-1. It changes. It actually morphs into a much more aggressive attacking shape. So in attack, we essentially become a team that plays with three at the back. How does that happen? Well, one of our fullbacks bombs forward, either high and wide or by tucking into the midfield. But, and this part is absolutely critical, that move is only possible because one of our defensive midfielders is disciplined enough to slide over and cover the space that fullback just left. If they don't do that, the whole thing collapses and we are completely exposed on the counterattack. It's a calculated risk, but it's a risk that only works because of that discipline. So what's the point of all this? All this intricate movement, these shape shifts, what's it all for? It's all for one reason, really, to create chances for our number 9, to get our striker into a position to score a goal. While our other attackers might drift around and pull defenders out of position, the striker's job is brutally simple. Stay in the box, be a target, and when the chance comes, you finish it. Period. Okay, but what happens the second we lose possession? What happens when an attack breaks down? Well, that fluid attacking shape has to instantly snap back into a solid defensive wall. And the switch is immediate. We snap right into a compact 4-4-2 block. The wingers sprint back, the number 10 pushes up to become a second forward, and suddenly we have these two solid banks of 4 players. And why this shape? It's simple. It's the best way to plug all those dangerous gaps between our defense and midfield, making it incredibly hard for the other team to play through us. We force them out wide, away from the goal. So we've talked about what we do when we have the ball, and what we do when we don't. But there's one last rule, one final, unifying law that applies to every single player in every single moment of the game. This is the big one. This is the principle that holds the entire thing together. Just look at this. First, the wrong way. See how that one player moves forward all by himself? Look at the massive, massive gap that creates in the team. We're instantly disconnected, we're vulnerable, a disaster waiting to happen. Now look at the right way. The entire unit shifts together, like it's being pulled by a string. The spacing is perfect, the connections are still there, and those all-important triangles are still intact. And honestly, this quote just says it all. It's not just about being near your teammates. It's about moving in sync with them. If the right back pushes up 10 yards, the whole team has to shift over to keep its shape. We have to move as one single organism, not as 11 separate people. So, when you strip everything else away, our entire tactical identity really comes down to these three words: movement as a single connected unit, discipline to do your job for the team, and triangles, the simple geometric shape that holds it all together. That's the blueprint.